November 1950, a POW camp outside Seoul, South Korea. The American mess sergeant was confused. He just served lunch to 150 German prisoners, former Wehrmacht soldiers, captured fighting for North Korea. Standard rations: bread, soup, canned meat, coffee, good food. Better than what most people in Korea were eating. But the prisoners weren't eating. They were sitting there, staring at their trays, not touching anything. Staff Sergeant Robert O'Neill walked over to the nearest prisoner. "What's wrong with the food?" The German looked up. Didn't seem angry, just disgusted. "This is not proper food," he said in broken English. "We are German soldiers. We cannot eat this." O'Neill blinked. "You're refusing to eat?" "Yes. This food is beneath us." O'Neill stared at him. 150 German POWs, all sitting there, arms crossed, refusing American rations, because they thought it was beneath them. O'Neill reported it to his commanding officer, Lieutenant James Parker, Chicago, 28 years old. Parker came to the mess hall, looked at 150 full trays, 150 Germans sitting with their arms crossed. He tried reasoning with them. "Gentlemen, this food is provided under the Geneva Convention. It's good food. You need to eat." A German corporal stood, spoke for the group. "Lieutenant, we appreciate that you are following the conventions, but we cannot accept American food. It is not what German soldiers eat. We request German military rations, or we will not eat." Parker looked at the mess hall, the wasted food, the attitude. "Let me get this straight. You're refusing to eat, not because the food is bad, but because it's not German. Correct. You understand you're prisoners. You don't get to make demands." The corporal's face was calm. "We are not making demands. We are simply choosing not to eat food that is beneath our standards." Parker walked out, went straight to the camp commander. Colonel Robert Hayes, Boston, 43 years old. Hayes listened to the report, walked to the mess hall, saw it himself. 450 Germans, sitting, not eating, arms crossed, waiting. Hayes addressed them directly. "I'm told you're refusing this food. I want to understand why." The corporal stood again. "Colonel, with respect, this food is not appropriate for German soldiers. We maintained certain standards during the war. We wish to maintain them now." Hayes was quiet for a moment. "You maintained standards while you were losing? We fought with honor, sir. And now you're hungry, but too proud to eat American food. We would simply prefer German rations, as we are German soldiers." Hayes looked at the full trays, the waste, the arrogance. He made a decision. "Fine, you don't have to eat American food. Sergeant O'Neill, remove all the food. Don't serve this unit anything. They've refused our rations. We'll respect that choice." The Germans looked confused. The corporal spoke up. "Sir, we simply request German military rations instead." Hayes turned to him. "We don't have German rations. We have American rations. You've refused them, so you get nothing." The report went up the chain. Division headquarters, Corp. By the next morning, it was on General MacArthur's desk in Tokyo. MacArthur read it over breakfast. 150 German POWs, refusing American food, because they thought it was beneath them. He picked up a pen, wrote directly on the report. "Maintain current status. No food until they accept what is offered. I will visit the camp personally in 4 days. If they have not eaten by then, I will address them myself." He handed it back to his aide. "Send that immediately." "Sir, 4 days is a long time. The Geneva Convention." "The Geneva Convention requires we provide food. We're providing it. They're refusing it. That's their choice. Send the order." The aide sent it. Back at the camp, Colonel Hayes received MacArthur's response. "General MacArthur has given explicit orders. No food for the German unit until they accept American rations. He'll be here in 4 days." The first day was easy for the Germans. They were used to missing meals. They'd fought on empty stomachs before. A few hours without food was nothing. They sat in their barracks, talking, joking. Some even sang songs, Wehrmacht marching songs, like they were proving a point. The American guards watched, said nothing. By evening, some of the younger prisoners were getting hungry, really hungry, but the older ones kept them in line. The corporal, whose name was Ernst Weber, addressed the group. Remember who we are. We are soldiers of the Wehrmacht. We do not beg. We do not break. We maintain our standards even here. The prisoners nodded. Agreed. Proud. The second day was harder. The mess hall was right next to their barracks. They could smell food being cooked. For the other prisoners, for the American guards, fresh bread, coffee, meat. Some of the younger Germans stood by the windows, watching, stomachs growling. Weber kept them together. This is a test of will. The Americans think we will break. We will show them German discipline. But by the second night, the joking had stopped. The singing had stopped. The prisoners were just sitting, staring, thinking about food. One of them, a young private named Klaus, approached Weber. "Corporal, some of us are very hungry. Perhaps we could—" "No. We made our position clear. We stand by it. But Corporal, it's just food. It doesn't mean. It means everything. We are not animals. We are soldiers. Act like it." Klaus went back to his bunk. Lay down. Tried to sleep. His stomach hurt. The third day was different. The prisoners woke up weak, dizzy. Some couldn't stand without help. The smell from the mess hall was torture now. They could hear other prisoners eating, talking, laughing. But the German unit sat in silence, hungry, waiting. The fourth day was worse. The prisoners could barely move. Some were too weak to get up. The camp medic checked on them, made sure no one was in medical danger. But Hayes's orders were clear. No food unless they accept American rations. That afternoon, a jeep pulled up to the camp. General MacArthur got out. Colonel Hayes met him at the gate. "Sir, the situation is unchanged. They still haven't eaten." "4 days?" "Yes, sir. 4 full days." "How are they?" "Weak, hungry, but still refusing." MacArthur nodded. "Take me to them." Hayes led him to the barracks, opened the door. 150 German prisoners, sitting on bunks, standing by windows, all of them thin, weak, hungry. They saw MacArthur, saw the 4 stars, slowly stood to attention. Even weak, they had discipline. MacArthur walked to the center of the room, looked at them. "I'm told you've been refusing food for 4 days because American rations are beneath you." Corporal Weber stepped forward. "General, we simply maintain our standards as German soldiers." MacArthur looked at him. "Standards? You're starving. But you have standards." "Yes, sir. Let me tell you about standards. I've been fighting you people for years. Pacific, Europe, Korea. You know what I learned?" Weber said nothing. "You're disciplined soldiers. I respect that." The Germans looked surprised. "But you lost. You know why? Because discipline without sense is just stupidity. And right now you're being stupid." Weber's face tightened. MacArthur turned to address all of them. "Here's reality. The war is over. You lost. Your country is divided. Your army is gone. Most of you don't have homes to go back to." He paused. "But you're alive, and we're feeding you. Better food than most Germans are eating right now." Another pause. "You can keep your standards. Sit here and starve. Prove whatever point you think you're proving. Or you can eat, survive, go home when this is over. Help rebuild, help your families." He turned to Weber. "What's it going to be, Corporal?" Weber stood there, every eye on him. The weight of 4 days, the weight of 150 men waiting. Finally he spoke. "If we eat, do we have your respect as soldiers?" MacArthur looked at him. "You have my respect because you stood by your men for 4 days, even when it was stupid. That takes guts, but respect doesn't fill your stomach. Make the smart choice." Weber was quiet, then nodded slowly. "We will eat." MacArthur turned to Colonel Hayes. "Serve them." Within an hour, the mess hall was full. 150 Germans eating American bread, American soup, American coffee. Some of them cried while they ate. Some couldn't eat fast enough. Some ate slowly, savoring every bite. Weber sat with his men, eating, quiet. Lieutenant Parker stood nearby, watching. He leaned over to Sergeant O'Neill. 4 days, all because they thought American food was beneath them. O'Neill nodded, and one speech from MacArthur broke them. Parker shook his head. He didn't break them. He gave them permission to let go. The German unit never refused food again. They ate what was served, survived. Most of them went home when the war ended. Years later, some of them told the story about the 4 days they refused to eat, about MacArthur coming to the camp. One of them, Klaus, the young private, said it changed how he thought about everything. We thought refusing made us strong. MacArthur showed us it just made us hungry. Real strength is knowing when to let go of pride. MacArthur never mentioned the incident in his diary, never talked about it publicly. For him, it was simple. Stupid pride gets people killed. Smart soldiers stay alive. Would you have broken after 4 days? Or would you have kept refusing? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories about Korea and World War II, where pride met reality, make sure to subscribe